Hey guys, as always, it's Douglas here at Drown Boy Cosplay, and also, as always, we're going to be unboxing a very special package. I know I like to say that a lot of stuff is usually special to me, or I'm usually very excited about getting it, and usually I do pick up things that I really am interested in, but sometimes I end up picking things just for the sake of reviewing it on the channel, or just on the sake of being a completionist as a collector, and it may not be something that I am wholeheartedly into and very, very excited about getting. Another problem that I've faced as of recent, probably in the last year, has been actually getting something that I'm very, very excited about getting, and it feels like I'm really scoring because I've gotten so much really, really nice stuff. I've pretty much gotten my holy grails, which of course was the Papa 3, and then my pink fantastic faces. So I've reached all my holy grails. I've basically met my expectations for what I wanted for this channel. Well, as of recently, I actually have picked up something that is a true holy grail. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I'm going to try and be very, very careful with this one. I don't want to risk damaging anything. And as you can see, box got a little bit bent, but I don't think that'll cause any problems. Hopefully this was packaged well enough. Giving you guys a sneak preview. There's just a lot of cotton in here. That's very nice to see. I think that's all that's in here. I'm going to get first glance at it. Oh man, that is gorgeous. So what we have here, as you can see, is one tagged White Shroud Fantastic Faces Weeping Ghost. Just to very, very carefully take this out. As you can see here, Fantastic Faces, glow in the dark, tagged, Fun World div. Here's both sides. Just get a look at it. The mask itself is very, very nice. I would say immaculate. It is a Gen 1, of course. It's very, very white. It has hand-cut eyes. You can actually see in the eyes where it's pretty hand-cut. There's a small little spot right here with some missing paint on the mouth. It could be a scrape. It could very well be just that's how it came. I've seen some before where they just never reached paint on it because they were pretty much hand-painted in there. Pretty sloppily. Immaculate White Shroud, no problems. This thing was pretty much listed as mint, and it's a little bit dusty in some spots, but yeah, this is incredible, just absolutely incredible. So in case you guys don't know about this, there were none of these known to exist. I think total there was something around 10 tagged Fantastic Faces known to exist, period. At least ghost face masks, that is. And all of those wear black shrouds, and then there's of course one tagged green with a black shroud. And if you guys have been frequent on the mask YouTube, or if you have just been paying attention to the community, you guys will know that the person that owns the green mask with the black shroud is Marcus over at Maskboy1234, and he's got a very, very nice piece. None of these were known to exist. I was recently actually talking to some collectors, and we were kind of toying around with the fact, joking about if any of these actually existed, period. Well, as of recent, not just one, but two of these popped up on eBay. It seems that someone who has nothing to do with the community found an old box full of Fantastics, and it was just old stock, and found 2 or 3 black shrouds, and then 2 white shrouds. Some were buy it now, and then some were actually bids. The ones that were bidding were not so great quality. They had some flaws, and this was the perfect condition white shroud, and it was a buy it now. For those of you who saw it, you'll know how much I paid for it. It was not a cheap mask. This is a 4-digit mask, so I paid quite a good bit for it. This was not a cheap score. However, to have the opportunity to have a tagged weeping ghost for that price, and also have it be a white shroud, one of now only 2 that are known to exist, and also to have it be old stock that popped up, I really couldn't pass it up. I almost did. I actually almost did. But after speaking to some other collectors and hearing their input and how rare of a piece it actually was, I kind of thought about it, and I'm like, you know, that's still relatively cheap considering what these do normally go for. It's not a deal. I didn't get it for a steal or anything. I definitely paid money for it. Paid a good bit for it. However, to me it's worth it. To me it's actually worth it. And I was a little bit skeptic about whether or not it was a retag, because it popped up out of nowhere. Nobody in the community knew who this person was that was popping up with 4 tagged Fantastics. So I ended up tracking them down, and it does seem that they're legitimate. Also, given the circumstances and what all else was found with it, it seems like they just basically found an old package of the original Fantastics that the store would get. So for this to be found, much less surface where it did, and then also for me to be able to get it, is fantastic, to say the least. I mean, I'm very, very, very excited. This is my first big grail score of 2018. I know a lot of you guys aren't going to watch this, and even then, some of you who are watching this may just be Ghost fans or Mask fans in general, and you may not know what's so important about these. I know a lot of people who saw me post about it on Facebook were like, oh, that's overpriced, way too expensive. I don't get it. What's so special? The Fantastic Faces were the original masks that were used in the original Scream movie, especially the Gen 1s. The black shroud with the white face is probably one of the more sought after ones because it's what they used. But everything else, the colored ones, including this, I consider this a colored because it has a white shroud, are a lot more rare. They didn't sell as well, and they didn't make as many. Also, the black shroud with the white face was the original concept they had, so those were kind of like, I think you would get 2 or 3 times the amount of those per box as you would of these. So to get a white shroud in general, very, very rare, very hard to come by. To get one tagged today, damn near impossible. None of the other white shrouds were even known to exist tagged, period. The Lovely Tate, Sarah Spook, or the Grin, at least as far as I know. As far as I know, none of them were known to exist. So for so many of these to pop up, which, I mean, 2, you know, still, for so many of these to pop up at once, when there was something that was known not to exist, is incredible. This is a holy grail. As a Fun World collector, this is a holy grail. As a Scream collector, this is still a holy grail. It may not be a black shroud, but it is a tagged ghost face. And also for it to be in such absolute immaculate condition is beautiful. The way that it's smashed flat is definitely characteristic of the story I was given, which is that basically it was just an old box of them, and they were kind of just piled on top of each other. And so the story seems to make sense. It seems to be true. Overall, very, very excited to have this. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is part 1 of 2 of an unboxing. This is only the tip of the iceberg. You haven't seen anything yet. So stay tuned for the next video that'll be coming out within the next few days, probably next week sometime. And I hope you guys enjoy. Have a fantastic day.